Guys, how are you doing? Here's my third video. This video will be about philosophy of sales. Before I begin, I would like to thank each one of you for continuing messaging me privately, seeing me outside, complimenting me about my videos, and it definitely motivates me, and I'm glad to hear that it helps you a lot, and I'm glad to hear that you guys watching me on a regular basis. Even though it's my third video, I feel like I'm doing it forever, and I will continue doing it endlessly. So I chose to start with philosophy of sales because it is very important for me that you guys understand about the idea of sales before I go into details of sales. Sales is all about selling, and obviously it's not selling this, not selling that, selling ourselves. When a customer comes to buy something, he comes to buy the item, but if you are aware of that, he comes to buy you. When he buys you, he buys the item, and you want to sell yourself respectfully, and you will see how that item will be sold desirably. And I do want you to understand that because a customer buys you. So for example, if a customer comes to buy a laptop, if he comes to buy anything that he wishes, and you're the representative of that item, if you do a bad job, unlikely the customer will buy at that moment. If you do a good job from A to Z, which means that you sold the customer to yourself, it means that the customer will buy the item, and that's exactly what you want to do. You need to sell yourself first before you sell the item, which means that you need to talk 10% about the item and 90% about yourself. When I say yourself, I do not mean, hi, my name is Alex, I'm 25 years old. I'm talking about selling yourself based on being nice to the customer, based on being friendly to the customer. You want the customer to feel good with you. It's like going on a date with a girl. When you go on a first date with a girl, or a girl goes with a guy, it is very known for guys to let the girl talk a lot, so this way she will be impressed by you. Same thing with sales. Let the customer ask customer questions, that the customer will be talking about himself. When the customer talks about himself, he feels self-confident, he feels admired by you, he feels wanted, and that's what you want the customer to feel. But don't do it in an obvious way, and it becomes more complicated. But if you do it in a smooth way, I'm just talking about the concept of sales. If you do it in a smooth way, the customer will understand that you're not just a nice person, you're allowing the person who is the customer feels so good that he wants to buy it because you sold it, not because the item is there. And in fact, that item becomes more desirable and wanted at the same time. And for selling the item in an easy way, you gotta do the hard work. And I do admire by Jeffrey Gitomer. Jeffrey Gitomer in his book says that you need to do a hard sell, you need to do a hard work to make the sell easy. For example, when you have a customer with you, you need to get to know him, you need to break the ice between each other because he's a stranger for you. A majority of the customers, about 95 to 96% of the customers will be strangers to you, and within 5, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, depends on kind of sales, of that framework, you have to make the customer be your sort of best friend, close enough to make him buy it on that spot. So the hard work is to get to know the customer, and once you break that ice and once you accomplish that hard work, the sell will be easy. So any sales speech will sound to the customer as reasonable speech. For example, when your best friend comes to see you, he will ask you, hey, for example myself, hey Alex, what are you selling? Oh, I sell cups. So I don't need to do the hard work because he's already my best friend. So basically in the closing speech I will tell him, just because you're my best friend, this is what I will do for you. And it sounds believable because in fact I'm his best friend. So with a stranger you need to break the ice between 5 to 10 minutes, depends on the sell again, but in most cases 5 to 10 minutes, and the customer will feel close enough to you that anything you will say, he will definitely buy it. For example, with a customer, if a customer is a hockey player, how do you find the fact that he's a hockey player is that you ask the right questions. If you find the fact that he's a hockey player, then you say, since you play hockey and you can promote me to other people, in your team you have more than 20 players. Once you have it, you can definitely tell other people and they trust you. I will do for you this and that and that. Without getting to know the customer, you would never find out that he's a hockey player. So when you do the closing line, the customer says to himself without even saying it loudly, oh well, I'm truly a hockey player and I truly can promote it, and he does give me a good deal. Why wouldn't I buy from him? And I do appreciate the fact. I may promote, may not, but as long as he gives me a good deal, I'll definitely buy it. And if they think it's a good deal, then it's a good deal. Which means that sometimes smart customers think when you talk a lot, the price will be higher or the price will be high, which means they are smart enough to know what you're doing, because you're doing a difficult job, a tough job to make the sale easy. You try to get to know the customer. So in fact, when you do that smooth way and the customer does not realize what you're basically doing, even if you sell him, for example, the high price of this is $30, just random number, and you do sell it for $30 and you make him feel it's a good deal, then it's a good deal. As long as the customer feels it's a good deal, that's what counts. In order to do that, you gotta be the customer's best friend. And it's not easy, but that's called a difficult job to make the sale easy. And it is funny to say, but lots of customers who buy it off me, they keep saying to me, Alex, you know why I bought it for you right now without thinking? It's because you're not pushing. In fact, I think I'm the most pushy sell person in the earth. Just exaggerating, but I'm very pushy. But when the customer says that to you, it means and admires me that I did a perfect job to make him feel that I'm not pushy. And I was pushy by getting to know him, by giving a perfect closing speech, without the customer feeling that I was pushy. And when the customer tells you, I bought it of you because you were so nice to me, you were not pushy, you made me feel comfortable. All these compliments, it makes you feel motivated, it makes you want another one. It makes you feel good. And the desire of making you feel good, of making the sale, I don't think there is something more satisfying than that. So this is my philosophy of sales. Philosophy of sales is selling yourself, not the item, only yourself. Do the hard work to make the sale easy. Always be enthusiastic, passionate, energetic, the way I was right now with you. You can do from A to Z, the sales book, from A to Z, but without passion, enthusiastic, energy, you will never sell. If you have a bad day, you don't have a bad day at work. If you have bad energy, the customer feels it. Always be positive. And as long as you follow what I say and develop that concept into your sales pitch, into your sales environment, I promise you that your sales rates will just increase. Thank you for watching, and this video was shorter than usual, and I love you all, and until the next one, bye.